Hello guys, this is Catherine from 5414 and I'm going to show you how to use the 5414 part naming feature script. Now, as you can see, before you start, you have to remove any properties from previously named parts. If you haven't named your part, it's okay, you can keep going. But if you did assign a name to your part, you have to remove it or else it won't assign a name for you. And then I also recommend you assign all your materials to your parts. In a perfect world, this would be like the very last step of your assembly. And that's just because the feature script automatically assigns materials to the part name based on what material you have it set as. So it'll just make the whole process a lot faster. And finally, you obviously need the feature script. You can't really Bluetooth this. Okay, now with that out of the way, the first step you want to do is isolate all the parts that you want to name. So as you can see in the little video here, I'm selecting all the parts without a name that are named like part number, and I'm just organizing that in the assembly so when I'm actually naming it, I can tell what quantity it is, and it's also easier to see what parts you have to name left. Of course, you don't have to do it like this for it to work, but it'll make a lot of things way clearer. And as you can see, I'm doing the same thing in the Part Studio. I'm just going through and clicking all the parts without a name. There's a faster way to do this where, if you can see, I'm holding Shift when I click between like the little gaps between actual parts with names already, and that'll just select it all already if you didn't know that yet. But you just right click it and click Hide Other Parts. And you should also make sure you have the feature script updated if you don't already. Alright, the next step is to configure the feature script with the parameters you want. If you check the Chief Defi post, I go into what each of these mean and how you should fill it out. But if you just watch the video, you can see how I'm filling it out. It's pretty self-explanatory once you know the convention. And then next you select all the parts that you need to name in order. It's very important that they are in order because that's how the feature script knows how to assign the per part properties. Again, you can hold shift while you're selecting the parts and it'll select everything in between the two parts that you clicked. Okay, next up you want to hide all the parts in your part studio. Of course, you don't have to do this for it to work, but it'll make it clear what part you're working on at the moment. And you can do this very quickly by just right-clicking all the parts you have selected and hitting Hide All Parts. And now you're ready to start assigning individual part properties. So if you click Add Part, it'll start assigning properties to the first part that you selected in the drop-down that we did earlier. And you want to navigate to find your part in the Part Studio and Assembly. There's an Onshape feature called the BOM table or Bill of Materials. And by clicking the part in the assembly, it'll show you how many instances there are. So that might help you in bigger assemblies when there's a ton of instances to fill out the quantity. If you see on the BOM table right there, there was a little table for the quantity. That's just a little thing to help you, of course. You can do this your own way or any other way that you find fits your workflow. This is just how I've found it to be helpful so far. The entirety of this part is probably the part that takes the longest because it's you actually assigning all the per part properties to the parts per each part. Anyways, I'll just have a little montage of me going through all this. But yeah, from this point on, you basically already named the parts. And now with all your parts named, you can finally unhide everything. Just right click in the blank space and click show all parts. And now you can marvel at your beautiful, beautiful subsystem with all its parts named, and your fab team won't beat you up because you named all your parts correctly with the feature script. And it's only one feature script. And it's so beautiful. Thank you.